This is CBS LA at 9.
Tomorrow's the day voters decide. Polls tighten in two big races on the eve of the California primary.
World Cup security, new rules to keep LA safe, and who will be impacted when matches begin later this month.
The massive warehouse fire in Ontario finally getting cleaned up after smoldering for weeks. The ongoing issues for surrounding communities. Good evening. I'm Pat Harvey.
I'm Rudabe Shabasi. Two of California's biggest prizes are up for grabs in tomorrow's primary election, the race for governor and the LA mayoral race.
And as of this evening, ballot returns are outpacing our last primary election 4 years ago as a surge of late ballots flow in. And CBS LA political reporter Tom Wade is here. You've got some latest numbers, Tom.
We do, and in fact, those numbers that you're talking about, Pat, that just changed a few hours ago.
Ooh.
It's been back and forth, so yeah, it's ticking up. Not a lot, but a little bit. So that's good, though. But it turned out still only at about 18% statewide. But again, like Pat and Rudabe were saying, that's an increase from where we were on our election eve in our primary in 2022. In LA, though, that number is lower, 15%. But it's a huge increase from where it was just a few days ago. The candidates doing all they can to get out the vote. From Sacramento to LA City Hall, California voters are deciding the state's biggest races, and the stakes couldn't be higher.
This election has been unlike others that we have seen because there's been so much change and movement. It's been topsy-turvy from the governor's race to the mayor's race. What we're seeing is that ballots are coming in now. I think that it seems like a lot of people were holding on to their ballots, perhaps because they really didn't know where they wanted to cast their ballot. But as we get closer to Election Day, we see that people are getting excited and turning them in.
In the governor's race, recent polls show Democrat Javier Becerra in the lead, with Republican Steve Hilton close behind. Democrat Tom Steyer is also in the mix. Some polls show him in second. The top two vote-getters go on to the November general election.
A lot of unexpected events in this election. In the gubernatorial race, you had the withdrawal of Eric Swalwell. Nobody knew how that would work out, and apparently a lot of support went to Javier Becerra. But Becerra is not so far ahead that there isn't a possibility of an upset.
Thank you for voting.
In LA's mayoral race, incumbent Mayor Karen Bass was out on the campaign trail Monday, delivering her closing message as she fights to keep her job.
42,000 units of housing, crime rates down to 60 years low. We have the Olympics and the World Cup coming.
An LA Times UC Berkeley poll out last week showed Bass neck and neck with her two challengers, former reality TV star Spencer Pratt and City Councilwoman Nithya Raman, Bass's one-time friend and ally.
They are tired of how high the housing costs are here, how it's driving families out of the city, how our response to our homelessness crisis has been lackluster.
Pratt was not out campaigning publicly on the eve of the election. His team released a statement saying he is engaging with voters today, but we are not making it a media spectacle. He's having intimate and meaningful conversations across the city.
Spencer Pratt has really caught on like a rocket fire. He's now in a race with Nithya Raman for who's going to come in second, but they're so close that they're within the margin of error.
According to the political data firm PDI, registered Republicans were outperforming registered Democrats in ballot returns for much of the current primary voting cycle. But in the last few days, there's been a surge of registered Democrats returning their ballots.
This is a fascinating race in large part because as the Angelinos go to cast their ballot, very few people feel terribly excited about any one of these candidates. We see that even in the kinds of endorsements that have happened.
One group not turning out so far to vote, young people. According to PDI's election data, only 5% of voters 18 to 34 have returned their ballots. Pat?
All right, well, we'll see what happens tomorrow, right, Tom? Well, there is concern tonight over the safety of your vote after a ballot box was vandalized over the weekend.
CBS LA assignment editor Mike Rogers is at the desk. And Mike, you've been speaking with the registrar and officials there about how safe these boxes are.
Yeah, you know, this all happened over the weekend when a ballot box was set on fire. There were some ballots that were damaged in that box, but according to the registrar's office, it was a limited number of ballots, and they're working to identify the people whose votes were damaged. We'll show you some of the ballot boxes that we are talking about. It's these ones. You've likely seen them across LA County and in other parts of the region as well. The one in particular, though, was here at this park in Long Beach over the weekend. Now, there is nobody in custody right now. The LA County Registrar's office says They did file a police report in relation to all of this, but they tell us that one of these boxes had something thrown in it and caught it on fire. But I learned today about the safety of the boxes. They say these boxes are designed in accordance with state standards, not only state standards, but they go a step further. These boxes are designed intentionally to not allow a lot of air or oxygen inside of the boxes because you don't want a fire threat. There are some boxes out there in some counties that do have a self-extinguishing kind of capability here. The LA County Registrar tells me theirs do not, but the design of it keeps a very small slit in the top to allow a very limited amount of air in. That way the fire kind of suffocates itself as soon as it sets ablaze. Now, we're also told that the boxes have to have a certain thickness and type of steel to be used. They also have to be affixed to the ground or some other object that is not movable so that the boxes themselves cannot be stolen. Registrar says they also come every day to empty the boxes and perform safety checks on them. As for the ballots that were damaged, the registrar says they are making every effort right now to contact the people whose ballots were damaged to let them know that they need to vote in some other way now, and hopefully they'll be able to reach those people. And again, because they empty the boxes every day, there was only a small number of ballots that was inside of the box when it was vandalized. Guys?
Thank you, Mike. And we have more in-depth election coverage online. Check out our cbsla.com/voters guide.
The world's biggest sporting event comes to LA in just less than 2 weeks. FIFA World Cup Soccer is expected to bring in as many as 180,000 visitors. Teams from around the world will compete at SoFi Stadium, and Lori Perez is there live. Lori, preparations are in the works to ensure all of those people can watch safely.
Well, Pat, that's right. You know, the goal is really a summer of good, safe fun. And to make that happen, law enforcement leaders are making clear their expectations for visitors and for locals.
Anyone who seeks to turn the celebration into chaos, who threatens the safety of our residents or visitors, or who comes here intending to commit crimes, you will find no refuge in this city.
Layers of security surging across the city, state and local agencies on the ground, Secret Service throughout LA. Law enforcement is not playing games ahead of the FIFA World Cup events commencing here now in 10 days.
What we are actually going to pull out is our red card. Our red card will say, bad choices will land you a red card. And when you get a red card, whether it's on the soccer field or outside here in society, that's going to take you out of the game.
Today, they announced special restrictions, saying SoFi will be a no drone zone.
Drone operators who enter restricted airspace without authorization may face fines up to $100,000. They may face drone confiscation and significant federal charges.
The level of security is not uncommon for a major international sporting event, but experts say political tensions worldwide are making plans complex for local officials, FIFA, and fans. The United States will play Iran at SoFi Stadium this summer as the war between the countries continues.
And you can tell with the, FIFA's announcement that the pre-revolutionary Iran flag was going to be banned from the building. I mean, all of that it heightens awareness of it, but it also lessens excitement about it.
Stephen Bank is a law professor at UCLA and an expert on soccer law issues. He says the political climate inside the U.S. and especially here in LA surrounding immigration enforcement is also a factor.
The concern that the security will be used as a pretext for the immigration policy goals of this administration.
He's optimistic once the matches start, those issues will take a back seat. Sports broadcaster and soccer analyst Max Bretos agrees.
Well, World Cups are interesting and consistent. There's a lot of red tape and luggage that comes with it before it actually kicks off. In this case, it's the ticket prices, it's the political situation in the United States. I am comfortable in saying, as weird as it sounds now and the news that comes out in the cycle, at the end of the day, the World Cup will be consumed by many here, millions here, as well as around the world. And when we kick the final ball, it'll be viewed as a success.
You know, as experts have pointed out, the mission of the World Cup is, in fact, to unite the world and to drive positive social change. There will be 8 World Cup matches held here at SoFi over the summer. In Inglewood, I'm Lori Perez. Back to you.
Lori, thank you. Firefighters have stopped the spread of a wildfire burning in Castaic. It burned about 4 acres off the 5 freeway, and dangerously close to some homes. There were concerns about possible evacuations, but a quick attack from the air and the ground kept the flames from the surrounding neighborhood. The fire did lead to a traffic backup on the major thoroughfare. Tonight, after nearly 2 months of waiting, demolition is underway at the destroyed Kimberly-Clark paper warehouse in Ontario. Our Leslie Marine is there live, and this demolition is just another thing residents living nearby have to put up with. Leslie.
Yeah, it's just another layer, Ruta Bay, of all that they've had to deal with in the last nearly 2 months. They say during this demolition, they hear loud banging, rumbling, and many say they can feel their home shake. But it is a relief knowing they're one step closer to this all being over for them.
Finally, they're cleaning this place.
Demolition crews hard at work. This is a moment Samina Perveen has waited 2 months for.
You just want it to be over. Yeah, I'm so ready.
Her home and many others sit just behind the now burned down Kimberly-Clark warehouse that went up in flames back on April 7th. We spoke to Perveen last month as many neighbors reported dealing with the warehouse constantly smoldering and smoke. And now the cleanup, she says, is causing its own issues.
Today, especially, it's been like rumbling. All the whole house is shaking, like it's literally shaking. Like
it's kind of like earthquake, and the ground is rumbling. It's just not fun to be home.
Camille Marks is dealing with the noise after spending 2 months in a rental to avoid all the smoke thanks to her insurance.
I mean, not living at home is hard, especially with 2 kids, you know, getting all their school stuff and everything like that. It was definitely hard.
But both women agree they'll deal with the demolition disturbance if this all comes to an end.
I mean, I guess we can't be that upset because it is being cleaned up.
As of Monday morning, we could already see a section of the exterior wall knocked down. A mountain pile of Huggies and other debris sat outside the building walls. The city says crews could be working for 12 hours a day for the next 2 weeks. The 1.2 million square foot facility was destroyed after an employee allegedly posted this video of himself setting the fire. He is facing 7 counts of arson as well as federal charges, actions that have severely impacted the lives of so many.
So one person has wreaked so much havoc over here.
And the city tells us that it is the property owners that are in charge of this cleanup. They also tell us there is a water tank that's staged on the property 24/7 to put out any smoldering debris or any of that dust. Reporting live, Leslie Medine, CBS LA.
Thank you, Leslie. 40